23 engine 30 minutes 30, fall. 2001 Rose Arbor Drive, number 44. Village at Heritage Park. Fall. Village at Heritage Park. 2001 Rose Arbor Drive, number 44. Battalion 3 engine 30 minutes 30. Fire map 69 Delta 1 Arbor.
Chevy.
Racing to code 3, taking it code 2.
Okay, it's on a 20. I'll get you in here just a second.
Good evening, everybody. Getting things ramped up here. Sean, good morning. Snack Harbor, howdy.
At 11108 Street, apartment 305. We received a duplicate call.
It is
that the complainant can hear
now Wednesday morning.
Does not have the subject description.
52 degrees in downtown Sacramento.
At 11108 Street, apartment 305.
Wow, 52 degrees, and it says it feels like it's 52 degrees. Wow, that's amazing. Load today of 42, high at 56.
Looks like there, copy.
And free check.
Unit 22 not able to place.
We're under partly cloudy skies, a little drippy. Angel, howdy. Good evening and good morning. Yeah, it's really about what it is, huh?
Alpha 34, Touchman. Before, go ahead.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. And for those of you that may caught us a couple hours ago, holy moly. You got to see a real example of PSN teamwork. There just happened to be a few of us available, completely coincidentally, and all of a sudden things went crazy. We had a fire up in the north area. We had a auto versus bicyclist downtown, and then we have a fully engulfed vehicle fire off of I-5 northbound Q Street. And we brought that all to you rapidly, and that was the cooperative efforts of 4 team members that just popped up and jumped in and did what we know how to do quickly and best. So howdy, Marcus. Yep, Del Paso was busy. Diane, howdy. Dee Dee, howdy. So, Pamela, thank you for being a supporter. I know Snack Harbor is a supporter.
Out of Mountain View, Wyoming.
Angel's a top fan. So I'm looking for supporter badges. There's Lisa with a supporter badge. Thank you. Angel, top fan. Victoria, top fan. Margot, top fan. Yep. Solo again tonight.
When I copy your route, this is
I believe. Hold on a second. We're in the Fab 40s. As you can see, some of the lights just got turned off.
Howdy, thank you.
So I'm just going to drive through and see if there's more displays up tonight.
Alpha 32, I copy your message. Charles 33, you can go for it.
Howdy from Michigan, Rachel.
Copy, code 4, thank you very much.
Thanks for all those reaction hearts and thumbs up. Appreciate those. And believe it or not, those reactions help boost us up in the algorithms. So appreciate those. Watching from Laos, thank you very much for joining us. Justin, howdy. Sandra, thanks for joining us. Supporter Martha, thank you, Ma. Howdy. Margot, no more from that shooting, and that's what we're trying to find out. Someone put a comment that he passed, but we don't have any official word on that, so no more on that. Aloha from Hawaii. Thank you. Thanks, Tammy. Lisa, sporting a supporter badge. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Oh, by the way, yes. Thanks for saying that, Lisa. If everyone would tap their screen right now, and it should bring up some tools, and one of those tools being the share. I want to ask you to go ahead and share our live broadcast, and I'm going to be a little bit of let's see, the south end of a horse going north tonight. Hi, Sky. Jose, howdy. So when we ask you to share, that's one of those like really simple things that we ask y'all to do that helps us out greatly. And most of the 61 of you are not sporting supporter badges or top fan badges. Thank you, Angel, for being a top fan. And we just ask you to simply share and help us out that way, and reactions. And I'll look back at the analytics and I'll see that 5 to 10 people have shared. And so again, there's some folks who really can't afford the 99 cents to be a supporter, and thanks. So again, we just that's one of the simple ways you can support us. But I've got some bad news. Good news for some of you and bad for some. These are going to go behind the shared or the supporter paywall. So Todd, thank you for being a supporter, and Katie, thank you for being a supporter, and thank you for sharing. Roshan, thank you for sharing. And Jose, it's going good. PSN top mechanic. Thank you, Dee Dee, for sharing. Appreciate that. And so, flip back there. So anyway, I want to talk. I want to see your eyeballs. So one of the things we've talked about, we need to monetize, and we are completely out of pocket, and we need to start creating paychecks. We need to get funding going, and we do have supporters. All those folks that you see that are sporting supporter badges, they deserve to get some extra benefits. Now, one of the extra things we do is this right here, this virtual ride-along. This is really not our news coverage. This is secondary, and so we're going to put this behind the supporter paywall. So if you're not sporting a supporter badge, you will no longer get these virtual ride-alongs, and the only time we will get these virtual ride-alongs is if it's sponsored. So this coming weekend, we do have a couple of sponsored virtual ride-alongs, so then they'll come out from behind that paywall, and they'll be public. So if you know folks who, so a couple of things. Become a supporter, like Todd there, that's sporting the supporter badge. And awesome. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Gary, thanks for sharing. And so I'll throw the link in here again for the sponsorships. If you know business owners or folks who would like to sponsor us for a night, definitely put us out in front of them. And we'll get rolling here in a minute. I'm just saying, we're listening to the radios. Nothing's happening on the radios yet. So we're monitoring the radios as we're talking. As I'm trying to take care of some stuff here.
Oh, no problem. You guys be safe. Have a good night. You too.
Please stand by.
Hey, James, the sweeper crew's back.
Edit.
Help us with the cone?
Edit.
Yes, we are.
Why won't you edit?
Alright, 10-4, thank you.
There we go. Edit. So again, one of two things. Make sure you have a supporter badge at the 99 cents, and help share that sponsorship link, and ask people that you know that might be business owners, folks who need write-offs, things like that, want to get their business name out there. We have a very broad reach. I mean, thousands with these virtual ride-alongs. So I mean, average of between 10 and 20,000 is the reach. So that many eyeballs, if you have a business, are seeing your business and your link. So that's a big benefit for businesses that want to get their name out there. And
Go ahead.
Facebook keeps changing things. Interactive tickets, events.
Where you are? Alright, here we go.
Wow, they're throwing some other stuff in here. We can sell tickets and event stuff in the live broadcast now. Wow. Every time we turn around, Facebook's changing some of the back end stuff. I'm not seeing what I want. Give me just a minute here.
382, go ahead.
Still waiting on the lead.
South 44 on the 49, Sharper 97, call us in for a copy. It's 23 Carolina Circle and 14.
Alright.
Client's ring alarm went off, indicating motion outside.
There's a break-in at a business somewhere in District 6, Sacramento District 6. We missed the location on that. The door pried open, and they're going to use the canine to clear the business. I haven't heard anything more on that one. And someone else was asking just a little while ago about the shooting that we had earlier this afternoon in North Sacramento. We haven't heard a status on the victim in that yet, and as far as we know, the suspect is still at large. So for those who didn't catch our post, there's a shooting in front of the Kentucky Fried Chicken in the 1500 block, or actually 1601 Del Paso Boulevard earlier today. One person shot. Yesterday I talked to Battalion Chief, Battalion 3, Rusty Van Vern, and he said he was just driving down the road, and this guy came running out almost right in front of him, and it was a shooting victim. And so he stopped and got everything going and started helping him, and got police on the way. So he was able to help out with that. And he's retiring soon, in the middle of next year. So if you're in the North Sacramento area, you see Battalion 3, Battalion Chief Rusty Van Vern, be sure to say howdy to him and thanks, because he's not going to be hanging around a whole lot longer. And then again, Ace should be with us tomorrow night. And once again, we're in the Fab 40s, and I was hoping to get see if we had some more of the Christmas decorations up in this area tonight. And just as we got going, some of the folks turned their lights off. They're probably on timers. And it rolled around just after midnight. They shut off. So we still got a little bit of sprinkles going on. All right, now I'm getting to some of your comments here. What kind of technology are you using to do this? It's called Facebook. You're on it. Nothing super snazzy. Sherry, awesome. Yeah, I see that supporter badge there. Thank you very much, Todd Parker. Supporter, thank you. Awesome, Paul. Thank you. Gary, how about the car fire? It was a car fire on the off-ramp.
Possibly heard movement in her garage, but can't confirm. About the people outside.
Let's see what this-
16, medic 10. Difficulty breathing, 7 people.
Difficulty breathing.
Difficulty breathing, 72, 41, camera sent away.
Yeah, that was just, yeah, we had the live on that, and that was what it was. It was just a car fire on the off-ramp. And Todd, thank you. Welcome back, supporter. Stephanie Valentine is on. Lisa Madrid, supporter, thank you very much. Wow, Captain Smash.
4 engine 11, commercial alarm, 7205, Greenville Boulevard, Mark Final.
Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of other admin stuff here real quick, and there's nothing to go to yet, so just hang on to your jingle bells there.
And it's on the temporary plates 55508.
Awesome, Steve. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Medic 15, Syncope.
The car fire,
375 at Garden
I think you're talking about there, Gary. Yeah, everybody got out of that vehicle just fine.
1375 Garden Highway, Crawdad. 91, Medic 15, engine 15, fire mapping 28, Bravo 4, operation Bravo 2. Traffic 65 plates coming back, not on file.
Hey, Rashawn, there's no link for the supporter. It should be at the bottom of this post. I can't, that's one of the things I was trying to make sure. But Facebook changed some of my tools. But on the main page and on a lot of the posts, you'll just see where it says become a supporter. And just like a few of the folks here that are saying they became a supporter, it's just like that. Ralph, thank you. Appreciate that.
Medic 4, engine 4, difficulty breathing.
Victoria, yeah. I wish, I gotta agree with you there. I wish there's some more latitude on that. And that maybe you may be able to go in to Facebook and suggest that as a supporter. But we have no control over that whatsoever. I know, would it just one time $12? You know? That would make a whole lot of sense. But it's quite dark as we roll through the fabulous 40s. Well, one night we'll try to get going earlier than usual, and get down here well when some more of the lights are on. And there's a couple of other areas in Sacramento that have a lot of Christmas display. So we found that one neighborhood accidentally the other night, last night. So we'll head back to the grid. Ooh, this one's kind of neat. Hold on. This one's got some swags going. And the water on the windshield doesn't help very much, I know. No, he didn't. It was time to get driving. I was done with what I needed to get done with. Trust me, I'm not easily bullied. All right, we'll head back down into the downtown grid and go see what's going on. Looked a little busy actually tonight, surprisingly. When I took a quick drive through earlier. Wow, these radios need to get to making some noise. And once we go over to like the Lavender Heights area and check that out, and I can land for a minute, I'll get to some of your comments. Hot dog people. He's got a little easy up tonight. It actually looks like it kind of mellowed out. Low Bra is usually the busy spot on Tuesday nights. Oh, it's kind of funny how last night worked. Then we get super dead and we were getting ready to shut down the broadcast and that'd take off again. hurts a lot. Sedan versus a center divider somewhere. Let's go back and check some of these. Oh man, Justin, thank you. Appreciate that. It definitely takes some teamwork. Like I mentioned earlier tonight, those 3 incidents happened pretty close together, and it took 4 of us just jumping in and getting it done really quick. And without that teamwork, we wouldn't have been able to bring those 4 or 3 stories to you so quickly. And just kind of neat to see how that just all fell together. Kevin Gowan, thanks for that supporter badge. Good stuff.
1210 HQ check.
Heath Smith from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Thanks for joining us again. Yeah, just a little rainy here. Good stuff, Todd. Yeah, definitely was working overtime. Got home almost just in time to say hi to my wife as she was starting to head out the door for her to go to work. So I'm with you there with Sean. Hey Todd, yeah, we right now we're 100% volunteers, and we have an orientation process that we take our team members through. Brian, Sacktown is the most peaceful place on earth. Wow. You must not follow public safety news very much. I got a lot of much better peaceful places to hang out for peaceful places. Yep. Story up coffee. Yeah, we do need the rain, that's for sure. No, Steve, no sponsor tonight. And yeah, we need to get those sponsorships rolling. And Heath, yeah, we're usually on till from around midnight or 11. We start between 11:45 and 12:15ish, depending on what's going on, and we go till usually about 2:30 a.m. But that's, you know, it's always kind of relative depending on what's going on. If it's just absolutely dead, we'll call it off early, which might be the case tonight. And I'm gonna pin traffic collision westbound 80 east of Norwood.
Westbound I-80 east of Norwood Avenue. Westbound I-80 east of Norwood Avenue. 93 and 617. Our map 110 Delta 2 operation. Bravo 2
Didn't mean to delete that out of there.
That's canceled.
Let me throw that in there again. go. There's our sponsorship link. So if y'all would share that with some folks that you may know who may want to sponsor us, that would be great. Hey Todd, I wish we had a fleet. This is the only one right now. We need those things called sponsorships and some grants so we can expand our fleet. I don't think so. All right, we're gonna be rolling. So someone messaged the other night, there's more than just 16th Street. Yeah, it's kind of like the main artery where we go everywhere else off of downtown. But yeah, right now we're on 16th Street, so we can get over to I Street and head into Old Sacramento and check that out. See if there's anything going on over there. And again, I'll get to additional comments when we land again. Hey Todd, that's great. If he wants to donate some, let me know. We're a non-profit, so that's about the only way we'll be adding to our fleet right now. So, but you'll have to direct message our page, or you can also email us desk@psnews.us or maverick@psnews.us. So right here is where that vehicle versus pedestrian was tonight. Someone mentioned there's a lot of accidents at this intersection. Yeah, there are, and there's some pretty significant, really bad accidents at this intersection. It's a bad accident magnet, and as you see, we just rolled through there. Nothing special about that intersection. So really can't figure out what it is. But there needs to be some type of study done on it to figure out what the dynamics are, and look at all the accidents that have occurred and figure it out, because there's a lot of folk that are seriously injured, and cars into the buildings and everything else at that intersection. So currently westbound I Street into Old Sacramento. I just saw a report from our city council on initiative they approved to do some developing along the waterfront area here just adjacent to Old Sacramento, and Parks has agreed to do some developing right to our right from where we're at here. It's completely dark down there. I'd turn down there so you can see, but to develop a park on the waterfront, and some more development on the south end of Old Sacramento here, the direction we're heading.
One female are casing, possibly trying to break into vehicles. Code 12 and 927 in progress at 1000 Ida at the city parking garage. Sergeant to copy. No units available.
Snag Harbor. If you're still on the broadcast and you're working City Hall parking garage, there's a couple possibly trying to break into vehicles in the parking garage you're working in. And we'll head that way in a little bit. Let the officers get a chance to get there in the area. And here we are again for the Theater of Lights, Old Sacramento. And I'll check messages while we're here.
3 West 80,000 with route. That's copy.
Got you, Heath. Well, we'll see what happens. And yeah, again, Todd, on that, go ahead and hit me up.
West 80,000 with route. Copy.
Gary, this is a 2010 Ford Crown Victoria P71. Heath, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. And Problem J on the shooting. Yeah, and that's the thing. We really try to stay on top of stuff as much as we can, and get updates out. The problem is, due to HIPAA laws, even the police department doesn't get a lot of updates quickly unless the person succumbs to their injuries, and then it becomes a homicide.
Available to clear for the 927 in progress at City Hall.
Captain Smash, you are, boy, quite the interesting fellow there. It's called Connecting with Our Audience. And since this is our feed, we'll do it our way. If you don't like it, you can take your supporter badge and go to another page.
4 West 80,000 with route. For 31 over
So, and then the other thing there, old Mr. Captain Smash, there are no law enforcement agents, officers that have been assigned to that call yet, and we don't want to get there before the officers do, and we're just a little bit away from it. So leave my job to me, and you sit there and enjoy and ride along, which it's a ride along, not a tell along. Jay, no, as far as we know, that individual is still alive as far as we know. So it's not a homicide at this time. Right now it's a shooting. Assault with a deadly weapon.
Very chaos.
And I am really looking forward to seeing the Theater of Lights this year. I haven't got to actually see it, so I hear it's pretty good. And just for Captain Smash, we're taking the long way around to that call. We'll get there when we get there. I think Snag Harbor is actually working in this garage right here. So, Snag Harbor that you see pop up on here, he works for the city and is a good friend of ours. And he cleans the parking garages. So he's often in that City Hall garage, but yeah, you can actually hear his equipment going. And that garage we just passed, so I might be there tonight. Yeah. Marshall's showing his age over the cobblestone.
What was the description of the female?
Alpha 32, female, white, 35, curly red hair, 5'3", thin build, gray sweatshirt, blue jeans.
On this southeast side on the elevator going.
Yeah, Victoria, exactly. So, like I said, I don't bully, and most of our viewers know I'm pretty direct. So, while we need more supporters, we don't need people being jerks. So, if someone wants to be a jerk on the page, we have a certain culture that we like on our page. And most folks can see we don't have a lot of trolls and problem children on our page, and we have a large ban list. So we're pretty liberal with hitting that ban button. We want our viewers to be able to have a nice experience on our page, and it is our page, and if someone wants to come on and be a problem child, well, they can go somewhere else and be a problem child.
31 check. Alpha 35 to start. I need additional to start. I need additional to assist for a 945 at 1515 19th Street. There was a vehicle blocking the driveway.
Hey Todd, that would be absolutely awesome.
Questions. He is sleeping because of how he's positioned. It's a 945 at 1515 19th Street. Purchase a copy.
What was that call? Hang on a second here.
Alpha 31, I'm not.
One check. Alpha 35 to start and need additional to start. Correction, need additional to assist for a 945 at 1515 19th Street. Advised that there was a vehicle blocking the driveway and thinks they're hurt. Is refusing to answer questions. He is sleeping because of how he's positioned. It's a 945 at 1515 19th Street. Sergeant, a copy.
1515 19th Street. Oh, and 19th. Oh, and 19th Street. We're gonna head there. Vehicle blocking a driveway, but someone inside looks like they're sleeping, but the caller thinks they're actually hurt.
1 Alpha 4300.
So I haven't heard a fire dispatch on it yet.
Alpha 43, I'm going to start you to cover Alpha 35 for a 945 at 1515 19th Street. Alpha 34, can you code 40 outbeat Brad sector units and show me route to Alpha 35?
Battalion 1, Engine 1, man down. In the vehicle.
Alpha 43, you can go far.
1515 19th Street. Man down in the vehicle, taxi off around. 1515 19th Street, under the location. Battalion 1, Engine 1, fire map. 169.
This is where the Assembly and Senate members enter the underground parking at the Capitol. And the Capitol is on our left currently. We're heading to 19th and O Street for a report of a man down in a vehicle blocking a driveway. The caller thinks the individual is hurt. Fire and police are en route. Typically in these situations, fire and the medics will stage a couple blocks out and wait for law enforcement to arrive and check out the situation. And we gotta kind of go down and over and around due to the one-way streets.
Alpha 35, please.
Alpha 35, go ahead.
Good Paul 105, San Mary.
Alpha 35, your flight David Paul 105 San Mary comes back clear current on a $14 out of Sacramento. If you're just joining us, we are heading to
Oh, and 19th Streets in Midtown for a report of a person in a vehicle parked in a driveway or blocking a driveway, and the caller thinks the individual is hurt. Police and fire are en route, and I can see Engine 1's lights behind me, quite a few blocks away.
Alpha 35, he's opening his eyes, but he's not responding. He just looks very 928. Still trying to work on getting the door open.
35 check.
So the person may be having a medical problem. There is an officer on scene.
If you do have fire stage for that yet.
Officer asking.
Fire's en route.
Fire is staged.
Back on.
Confirming clear for them to enter.
35A firm.
And they are right over here. Try to find the spot to park where we're out of the way. Go down here to an alley and back in the alley. I think we'll be close to it that way. And fire's just arriving on scene. Oh, and they got blocker view.
Alpha 34, engine 1906. Alpha 34 check.
I can fix that problem. So see, this is one of the things that isn't really news. So we wouldn't cover it for get out and shoot it for news. But it is interesting to see our firefighters work and our officers together to get the job done, take care of this individual. Oh, they're getting the door open now.
33, doors open.
I don't know. He's probably having a medical problem. Dropped you guys. Thank you, Martha. And really not sure what's going on with this guy. Officers are having a difficult time with him. It's probably gonna be drugs or medical or something. Oh, now he's awake and out, and we're gonna check him out. Hey Brian, do we only patrol downtown? Well, the way we work, we default out of downtown because that's where most of the action, most of the calls are. And then as more serious calls occur, we will cruise out of the area and respond to the higher priority calls in that fashion. So a lot of folks so let's go, there's other parts of Sacramento, and there's nothing priority going on. We try to hang out where the hot spots are, and obviously downtown is where most of the things are happening. So I'm not sure what's up with this guy. So he was, the caller reported that he was blocking the driveway. Looks like probably his car got moved, but they had a difficult time getting him out of the vehicle. Seemed kind of out of it, and now he's kind of a little more with it. So don't know if it's a drug situation or a medical problem or what's going on with it. Hey Jay, did the police ever seem irritated when we arrive on scene? No, our officers are well acquainted with us, and they know we give them a respective distance, and we show up and we're just kind of a window to the scene. We're very objective, so we have a very good working relationship with them. And Todd, thank you again for working on that for us. We're going to go ahead and we're going to keep an eye on what's going on with this, but we're going to go back to the car and back to News Cruiser 3. I hit the button again. There we go. While we kind of wait to see what's going on here, we'll check in on the CHP page and see what's going on there with our accidents. Like that hasn't updated in a little bit. Let's get an update. Traffic collision unknown injury in Auburn. State Route 65 South. I-80 west at Atlantic Street off-ramp in Auburn. Spin out, way north. A lot of stuff up in Auburn. Traffic hazard in Woodland. And that's about all that's going on right now up on the highways. Wow, Califield, you're observant. Just because it is.
Off 35, catching up in there.
Yeah, Vicks, these Vicks, when they get older, they throw codes all the time.
Alpha 35, 678 George, Airport. Suspended or revoked, effective 5/11/15. Authorization code 133652, service M. Mary.
Okay, Captain Smash, I think it's time for you to go. Have a good one, Captain Smash. We've enjoyed having you, but you're being a pain. Goodbye. So, Todd, I kind of lost track. You said for what, as in we? I'm almost in law enforcement. That's why I say we. I lost track of what you were trying to say there. Yeah, we have, Heath, we have safety lights. Just your general amber and white. Different states have different laws regarding those, and so we're permitted to have amber and white lights for safety on the roadway. Hey Jay, what motivated me to do this type of work? I've been a photojournalist, action news photojournalist since I was 12 for my local paper in Ventura County, and then I was a firefighter medic for 8 years, and this has always just kind of been in my blood. We kind of like to say it's in our DNA. Just have some strobes on the front and the grill, and a directional bar on the back.
Go for sir 49 to Charlton.
Yeah, the Crown Vic, and that's exactly why we use the Crown Vic. And you see a lot of independent photojournalists use the Crown Vic.
2129 18th Street. Door and are now walking around back. Repeating, no units available for a 927 in progress at 2129 18th Street. Sergeant to copy.
2129 18th Street.
Engine 3, copy.
And 3 check.
Between U and V on 18th Street. Some suspicious subjects, no officers available.
CM3, we can cross for that if we need to.
3 check.
Free to know.
Yeah, Califield. It is. We have a really good mechanic that's on here.
Alpha 43, you're being requested on channel 3, 927 in progress, 3A, Sam Porter, copies across.
And it throws the codes. We just kind of let it, and every once in a while we review and check the codes. So it's not a big deal unless the car is acting up. We don't worry about it.
1 Alpha 43 Officer.
All right, engine clear. Officers are still on scene with this guy.
2129 18th Street. Alpha 32 and Alpha 43, please copy the hazard associated with the address. And Alpha 43, subject broke contained front screen door and walked off, possibly going towards the back of the house. Units advising they know one of them refusing to stay where they are at this house. 5'8".
Hey, so we usually go till about 2:30 a.m.
The third is wearing an Echo pullover sweatshirt.
And again, like we said earlier, it depends on the activity level. And nope, Manuel, I guess you're just coming on. This was a subject that was reported down in the vehicle that's in front of us right now. And officers are checking into him. And again, someone asked if the officers get irritated with us. And we said no, because we have a good working relationship with them. But just like that, we try to respect some of the boundaries. And we're not cop watchers, so we're not going to sit there with the camera on them all the time. And so just like that, we kind of cleared off of this a little bit, and we're just hanging out. Nothing else is going on yet, so we're listening for some other calls to go down while I'm replying to comments.
85495 Cherry Court, abdominal pain, 8549 Cherry Court, battalion paramedic 76, engine 765 Massachusetts, 72 Alpha, 203, stay off, that's right.
Right, exactly, Todd. You hit the nail on the head. Eric, it depends on your area where you're at. So here in California, you get your EMT 1A, and you have to be an EMT for at least a year, and then you go to paramedic school, and that takes about a year, and along with all your internship and ride-alongs and school.
Unit 927 in progress, call out for complainant is advising that subject arrived on foot and does not know if they are in his backyard.
Okay. And one of the, depending upon what area you're in too, sometimes it's good, you can become a firefighter and go through a firefighter academy, and they also put you through EMT, and then through the course of your employment you have the opportunity to upgrade to paramedic, and they'll put you through paramedic school if that's the direction you want to go. Also a neat route on that is CHP, and if the route you want to go is to become a paramedic, you can become a paramedic through the California Highway Patrol and law enforcement, and you can also, if you like flying, make the direction of becoming getting into aerial operations. And the guys on the helicopters for CHP are paramedics as well, and they do flight rescues. and winch outs. Night, Ma. Have a good one. Be safe. Take care.
I have a 26-year-old male with a history of pancreatitis. Patient awoke a couple of...
Hey, Jay, thanks for that. And yeah, exactly. This is, you know, our virtual ride-alongs. That's what this is, just kind of for kind of a behind-the-scenes look at how news is aggregated with us independent photojournalists. We're the first line of news, really, and we are where mainstream media gets their action, or used to. In this area, they don't buy anymore, which is how our nonprofit came about, so we could still try to create a paycheck and still bring folks the action news that mainstream isn't anymore. Oh, cool deal, Jay. You got it, Eric. Excuse me. Yeah, again, depending on the area that you live in, there's different paths. Also through some of the colleges. And it depends what type of medic you want to be. If you want to be a firefighter medic or in law enforcement. There's also air ambulance. You don't see a lot of action. You do more like transfers, long distance transfers for air ambulances. That's another route. Thanks, Jeff, for joining us. Appreciate it. Supporter.
The engine 18, medic 15, self-inflicted laceration. 625 Northgate Boulevard.
Self-inflicted laceration. That doesn't sound...
Boulevard, Cisco.
Night, Lisa. Thanks for joining us.
Medic 15, fire map 109 Charlie 4.
Got you, Jay. Yeah, you can always do it independently, and then that's also another feather in your cap when you're applying for firefighter. But you can go either way, and I believe, I think for Sacramento, when you're going through Firefighter Academy, you get your EMT as well, I believe. I'm not positive on that. But I think that's kind of becoming the standard across the board with most agencies now. And then that's also another feather. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're gonna get going. They're probably doing a field sobriety with this guy and everything. We're not gonna hang out for all that. Oh, hang on 1 second. I've got a direct message I need to check into.
First plate is for Adriana.
Please stand by. Oops. What's the one thing you never want to hear a brain surgeon say? Oops. Yeah, just wait till Ace is on tomorrow night. We'll have better jokes. Good night, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Sorry for the delay, guys. I know it's as exciting as watching the grass grow. Give me just a minute here. While you're waiting, if you're just joining us, please feel free to hit the share button and share us with folks.
David 104. David 104, go ahead. I have an escort for you from the AIRC to Riverview Hall, and your RP is Desiree. David 104, copy en route. Contact you with a register to Alpha 53. We just had a duplicate caller. That's 459 or 475. Camera sensor is a big count, and it needs us inside now.
Alright, I was getting a direct message from someone who thought they were banned, and let them know if they were banned they wouldn't be able to message us like they were right now. So.
6 en route, Riverview Hall.
Check. Alpha 33, your plate 8 Edward Queen Mary 183 comes back clear, current on a 2014.
Hey Jay, we listened to everything. City police, county sheriffs.
It's registered to 1025 University Avenue, apartment 127.
I think they probably took that guy into custody because they're not out here, and all the officers are in their cars, so he must be in the back of one of the cars. So we even listened to the regional transit light rail. What else do we monitor? We monitor some of the nightclub security channels. What else? Well, I can't give away all of our goodies. But yeah, we listen to just about everything you can imagine that's pertinent for us to listen to. CHP, all that good stuff. Sometimes nights that we are not live, on a night that maybe you would think we would be live. Let me straighten this out a little bit. Got a little cockeyed. Whoops. When we're not live, when you think we probably are normally live, it could be that there's a tactical or undercover operation going on that we may be monitoring, which wouldn't be appropriate for us to have broadcasting over our live, but we need to be staying on that, so we'll opt not to go live that night. Like if just for an example, if they're after a homicide suspect and are using some open channels, but meaning non-encrypted, open channels, but not ones that public would normally listen to or that aren't on the feeds. The only radio frequencies that are on the feeds that you listen to on your apps are the dispatch channels and fire tactical channels. None of the police tactical channels and narcotics investigations. None of those channels are on your app feeds. It just wouldn't be appropriate to have those on there. But we listen to those as well. And so again, if we're monitoring an operation or something like that, we won't be live. Same reason we won't go live on a SWAT or a tactical situation on scene. You can imagine, I mean, anyone can click in on this, and if we were live on a tactical situation like with SWAT, we could put some officers in harm's way by giving away their locations. If someone was watching, if the bad guy was watching and could see where they were at. Still trying to get this straightened out. It bugs me when it's crooked. I'm not OCD, I'm CDO. Some of you will get that. Those yellow lights like us. So as you can hear there, that was some of the light rail maintenance radio traffic. We really don't listen to that. But we will sometimes during the day listen to some of the regular light rail and regional bus on and off in the background, because we get a lot of information from that sometimes if there's problems on the bus. And the drivers, you know, you got a lot of drivers out there, and they see things that happen right away and they report them. So that's another way that we get a jump on mainstream media. And we'll pull over here and answer some more questions. We're currently on 5th Street, northbound, and you're looking at Capitol Mall in front of us, and that's Doco, or the bridge, kind of like the bridge is a restaurant that they built on the overcrossing down there ahead of us, from going from the Golden One Center Arena to the Doco Commons area. Yeah, Jay, exactly. I think that guy was intoxicated or under the influence of drugs. Gloria, howdy, top fan. Thanks for joining us. Hey Jay, we used to, and that's like folks who have been with us a lot. It's more than a thing. That's how things used to work. If you've watched the show, the movie Nightcrawler, or seen the Netflix series Shot in the Dark, we're formerly known as news stringers, and that's still a thing, a very big thing in major markets: Los Angeles, San Diego, Chicago. Things like that. When the economy crash occurred, I think it was at 2008, all the local news agencies lost their budgets to pay independent photojournalists like us and news stringers, and so we were essentially all laid off all at once. And folks who are in the area who have really paid attention to their news, they've noticed that they don't have very much action in their news anymore, because we do get on scene first, and we get the action. We're often on scene ahead of police and fire, and we capture them arriving and doing their jobs and making the rescues and making the apprehensions, and we're always right there in the action. And the news stations used to buy that from us. The flip side of that is, news stations only have an hour segment to get the news out, and your only action news is in about the first 15 minutes of the news show, and they do call it a show. So their 5:30 show, they don't even refer to it as their newscast. They call it a show. And it's just it is when you get to know news, it is simply about the Nielsen ratings. That is all it's about. Nielsen ratings and advertising dollars. And with the news stringers, it was chasing the money, chasing the invoices, and it was highly competitive. If you watch Shot in the Dark, you'll see that competitiveness, and that's how it used to be here in Sacramento. So I'm glad that element is gone, but at the same time we need to create paychecks, which is why we created our nonprofit. And again, our nonprofit is pretty broad. It also encompasses some other of our projects. Our main goal is to help reduce crime and recidivism and victimization through recovery, and that's our main nonprofit. Let's see. Oh, I gotta type that one in. I don't have it in my clipboard.
8 Frank Union Sam 918.
Oh, need that back.
It was on an 01 Nissan out of Sacramento.
And there's the details about our nonprofit. Bob Jenkins, hello, 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 hello.
32, can I go with a van, please? George, Tom Edward, King 1, 9 Tom, 0312.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that.
859.
We're actually that's our mission is we're here in Sacramento right now, but with the nonprofit, we intend to go nationwide. We are creating a paradigm shift in this genre of news, and we really want to change the way people get their action news, and we're doing it. We're starting to see a change, but to really make it take off, we gotta get that capital going, and get things going, get our brick and mortar here in Sacramento, and get things funded and get some people full time, so we can really get things going, and then we'll be able to duplicate it. We're really focused on making it easily duplicatable, and our web system and everything is set up for national expansion, so we can expand with the right funding. We can expand nationwide pretty quickly, over a 5-year period, and hit all the major areas. Essentially, what we'll be doing, at that point, our goal is to give our footage to the news stations, and not even collect invoices, just what we call courtesy it to the news stations. It'd be co-branded, so our brand would be on the footage. You would see our brand up in the top right corner, and we would be giving it to the news stations, and because it's journalism, and it should be about the story, and we meet people on their worst days, unfortunately, but those stories need to be told properly and without any spin on them. And then our bigger mission with helping to reduce crime and recidivism through recovery and education. So that's our goal with the news is keeping people informed so they can be aware and safe. That's our goal with public safety news, and that's what it should be. So, and with that, we'll start rolling again. And it is getting super duper uber quiet here downtown. But I love some of these views, and especially around this time of year when they start putting all the lights in. It's just really cool. So again, we're heading toward the Golden One Center that's coming up on your right. And home of the Sacramento Kings. I was just there for a David Ramsey conference, and that was one of the most incredible conferences I've been to in my entire life. I've been in business for a long time and been to a lot of business conferences. David Ramsey is really about faith-based finances and how to, as a faith-based person, manage your finances. But they had some really incredible motivational speakers, and it was incredible. So I've always been kind of considered like Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar, some of my mentors that I follow, and really appreciate their wisdom. They are faith-based business people, and just like I was ending our virtual ride-alongs a while back. I've gotten away from it. I need to get back to it, like with a quote. And one of the main quotes that I would share, some of you remember, is we're all in our boats in this life, and as we're on this sea of life, the same wind blows on us all. The winds of disaster, the social winds, the economic winds. But the difference in our destination isn't the blowing of the wind, it's the set of our sail. And where's our sail set? Where's our focus set? And things like that really drive me, and it helps you focus on things. And so you learn those things from good mentors and following the right people. I say I've heard it said it's okay to be a copycat as long as you're copying the right cat. We're heading into the rail yard area of Sacramento. Straight ahead of us is where the new really big Kaiser Hospital is going to be built. And then to the right, immediately to the right, is where the new soccer stadium, Major League Soccer Stadium, is going to be built for the Sacramento Republic soccer team. It's funny, I don't know why I'm not more into that. I used to play soccer when I was a kid. I even met Pele, and I don't know why I just can't get into the soccer scene around here. We're heading over to some of the River District. This is Jaboom. The street name always cracks me up. Jaboom. Over on our left, that where you see all that lit up, is going to be the Powerhouse. Was it Powerhouse Science? It's going to be a big science building museum in this area of Sacramento. This is north of downtown, and this area has always been a little bit of a blighted area, very highly transient populated. Heading into Discovery Park right here to our left is the entrance for Discovery Park and entrance for the American and Sacramento River. The confluence for the American and Sacramento River is right off of there. It's kind of neat when you're right up on that and you can see right where the waters come together. Right where they go together. You can clearly see which one's the American River and which one's the Sacramento River. The American River is nice and clear, and then you have this super dirty water merging into it. So anybody want a cheeseburger? We'll hang out here for just a few minutes. This is kind of one of our hangout spots because we can access the freeways pretty quickly right here. To our left, we can jump up on the I-5 going north or south and head into the major directions that way. We can head into downtown from two different directions right here. So give me just a minute, I need to check in on some messages. Stephanie Valentine, welcome. Oh, that underpasser just went through. Craig, the one with all the blue lights, or the one earlier back off of 5th Street. Hey, Craig, yeah, exactly, on the rain. Let's see. Well, you guys are asking some good questions. Let's see, what's one story that sticks out more than others that you have covered? Wow.
Good morning, Sutter. This is Maverick in Rochester, South Dakota.
Man, Jay, they all start to kind of blur and blend together. I think one of the ones that was really a big deal to me, there was a hostage situation here in Sacramento quite a few years ago on Arden Way involving a child, a baby. And it was 56 hours. We were on that 52 of the 56 hours. But because of the way we do our news, we were the glue that held mainstream together on that. Their crews swap out. I personally was there the 52 of the 56 hours. I only went home for a little bit to rest up and clean up. And because of the way we monitor things, right at the end of that, the sheriff and the sheriff PIO did a press conference, and just the way they were doing it, I knew something was up. But they had all the press get together, and they were telling the press that, hey, we are prepared to go the distance on this. We're going to be patient. If they need food, if the assailant needs food, if the baby needs food, whatever they need, we're going to be getting it for them. We're just going to be taking our time on this. We want to make sure everyone's safe. But while they're saying that to the press, I'm hearing in the radio, okay, I've got a clear shot over here. Okay, move the robot over here. Do this. Okay, I have a clear shot here. And then all of a sudden, boom, they literally blow through a wall, take out the suspect, and rescue the baby. And I am the only one who got the shot of the SWAT operator running out with the baby and taking the baby into the ambulance, because all the rest of the media was watching the dog and pony show over on the other corner, over on the other street corner. I left them and went over on the other corner and was paying attention to what was going on with the SWAT team. And so that was a big one, and that was pretty cool, seeing him come running out with that baby. And I'll never forget hearing on the radio the words of the operators: "Suspect is down, jackpot is good. Suspect is down, jackpot is good." And so the jackpot is obviously the child or the hostage, and he came running out with the baby. So that was pretty cool. Oh, Greg, don't tell me about it. I love McDonald's fries. I don't even want to know. Oh, Greg, the blue one. Yeah. It's kind of funny. That thing, they can put it in motion too and make the lights do all kinds of things. I have a little, that was put in when the city was really struggling. It was, during the economy crash, and they put all that in, and I was like, okay, so the city is hurting so bad, we're gonna put in this major like art thing under the overpass for what? In a really bad area. It's kind of like putting lipstick on the pig. So I have a personal angst with that one. But yeah, it is kind of cool. Bob, if you're saying where, I think you're talking about the hostage situation. That was on Arden Way, just down from Howell Avenue, if you're in Sacramento. Yes, Greg, we're at McDonald's. We're hanging out for a minute. This McDonald's, by the way, if you're in Sacramento and you remember the story a couple of months ago about the two YOLO deputies who dumped a transient off at the McDonald's and took off, this is that McDonald's, and we're the ones who captured that footage. we don't go over into Yolo County very often. Yeah, Jay. It'd be kind of interesting to meet that baby now, because the baby isn't a baby anymore. Probably about, oh man, what the baby is probably about 2 years old. I'm gonna guess maybe a year and a half. So, and that was, wow, probably about 8 to 9 years ago now. So probably 10 or 11. So it'd be interesting if the baby even remembers that.
Attention District 3 units, code 12-921 in progress at North 7th and Chill Avenue. At this intersection, a male was looking into a white van and tried getting into it and set off the alarm. Subject is male Hispanic adult, black jacket, white t-shirt, and blue jeans. Code 12-921 in progress at North 7th and Chill Avenue. Sergeant to copy, no units available.
North 7th and what?
Copy. Was there a caller or passerby?
Okay, in the area.
Please copy. Please tell advise on subject.
Confirm.
Tell advise speaking.
Attention District 3 units, code 12-921 in progress at North 7th and Chill Avenue. At this intersection, a male was looking into a white van and tried getting into it and set off the alarm. Subject is male Hispanic adult, black jacket, white t-shirt, and blue jeans. Code 12-921 in progress at North 7th and Chill Avenue. Sergeant to copy, no units available. Code 12-921 in progress at North 7th and Chill Avenue. Sergeant to copy, no units available. Code 12-921 in progress at North 7th and Chill Avenue. Sergeant to copy, no units available.
I'm replaying that because I can't get the avenue.
At North 7th and Chill Avenue. Sergeant to copy, no units.
Sounds like you're saying North 7th and Chill Avenue.
At this intersection, a male was looking into a white... Attention District 3 units, code 12-921 in progress at North 7th and Chill Avenue. At this intersection, a male was looking into a white van and tried getting into it and set off the alarm.
Can't figure out what avenue she's saying.
Negative, I can no longer have visual.
Okay. Because we're near North 7th, but I can't figure out what the avenue is that she's saying. Hey Joe, good to see you too. And for those that are just joining us, we had this chat earlier on. Just so you're aware, and a lot of our folks with supporter badges have gone night-night, it looks like, from the comments. But all of y'all that aren't sporting supporter badges, we have some good news and some bad news. The good news is when we have sponsored virtual ride-alongs, you'll be able to see them. If you have a supporter badge, you'll be able to see our virtual ride-alongs on a regular basis. We are putting some things behind our supporter paywall. We have to monetize things. Our virtual ride-alongs are an extra benefit to our news coverage. It's a secondary thing. Again, it's kind of a behind the scenes of how we chill out. That's what I thought she was saying. Yeah, and I got my Kevin Gowan. I've got my devices tied up on other stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. There we go. Hold on. I got my Surface I can use. I don't know where Chill Avenue is at. I've never... How's come I've never seen Chill Avenue? Pardon me while I digress, folks. North. Oh, we're checking into something right now, Todd. Stand by. Or sit by. You can sit by if you want to. We'll let you. 7th Street. And there it is. Ah, gotcha. Okay. In that new River District area.
Battalion 4, truck 16, still person 2138 Barron Avenue. Still person 2138 Barron Avenue. Battalion 4, truck 16.
Oh, all the way up there.
Operation Be
Got it. On the back side of Cannery Place Apartments. Got it. That's Chill Avenue. All right. Sorry to disappoint you, Todd. Not a whole lot going on. We're gonna cruise down toward this thing, but it's just supposedly a subject looking into cars. There's no officers available, so we don't really want to get in the area since we have a cop-looking car. I might go up North 8th in parallel on the other side of the highway patrol. On the other side of the highway patrol headquarters. Hey Greg, I told you I didn't want to know. Ignorance is bliss, right? Yeah, Todd, exactly. But they tried a door handle and set off a car alarm. So they're trying to open the jewelry cabinet, I guess.
2 Alpha 56 traffic stop.
2 Alpha 56, go ahead.
Mac in Stockton on a silver Lexus, no plates.
We'll go roll toward that area since it's the absolute only thing going on right now. So again, if you don't have a supporter badge, you want to acquire one. The way you acquire one is, I think, at the bottom of. See, I have the admin view. I can't see what you guys see per se. There should be a thing that says "Become a supporter." And on the front of our page, if you go back, don't leave the broadcast right now, but on the front of our page there's a Become a Supporter button, and on many of our posts, and 99 cents you get your supporter badge. And after tonight, if we don't have a sponsor for it, you'll have to be a supporter to be able to view our virtual ride-alongs. So you want to grab your supporter badge. And earlier in the broadcast, most of the folks who didn't have a supporter badge grabbed one and started supporting us for 99 cents a month. And we've always said if a quarter of our viewers would help us out with being a supporter at 99 cents a month, we would actually be in really good position with a base viewership funding. Like they say, many hands make light work. And we have, we're going on almost 27,000 likes, over 30,000 followers. So it's a very simple, very, very simple goal to attain, but it's been eluding us. Nope, I didn't see. I took a look and I didn't see officers up there. So we're going to stay out of that area. And pinned there in our broadcast tonight, the pinned post. If you know a business owner or someone who'd like to sponsor a virtual ride-along, that will make them public and bring them out from behind the supporter wall. We do have a sponsor or two for this weekend, so our weekend broadcast will be public. But at any time, someone can go ahead and support us with a sponsorship, and these, I mean, most of our posts get a wide reach. We're talking like over 9 to 10,000, 20,000 eyeballs. And so if you're sponsoring us, we're putting your name and your business link out there prominently and several times throughout the broadcast. And that's some pretty doggone good exposure for your business, so, or organization. So it's a pretty good quid pro quo, I would say. And not only that, it stays with the post in perpetuity. Ooh, whoa, I gotta be careful using those expensive words. I mean, use up all my vocabulary bank again. But it stays, you know, with the broadcasts, and people come back and see them, and we download them from here and upload them on our YouTube. So you're hitting our YouTube market as well. So it's a good deal. Oh, and it's a write-off on top of it because we're a non-profit. So it's a great quid pro quo. That's what the awesome thing is about us being able to get our nonprofit. It's valuable for everybody involved. So folks that need write-offs, it helps us because they need the write-off, and it helps them. So it's a good thing. Todd, now is maybe a temp vehicle berg, but it's more like probably just transient, trying to find a dry spot to crash overnight, and that happens a lot. Oh yeah, Todd, I think what they say was a 402 44. I forgot the code now.
Division SACPD is resuming a two-channel operation, 321 and 6 to 4 unidentified. Repeating information, SACPD is resuming a two-channel operation.
Kevin Gowan's back. Howdy, Kevin Gowan.
6 to 4 unidentified. SACPD East 205.
And SACPD is now a two-channel operation. And for those who are scanner listeners, that's important to know. Look at that. I'm below the speed limit. You don't see that too often. Right here is where that vehicle versus bicycles was, and some of his stuff is still there on the ground. That was his soda. And something else over there. That was his stuff. Guy got on the bicycle, got hit by a car tonight. Flipped it around again. So anyway, hey, while I got you here, again, just again, if you don't have that supporter badge, if you would consider that. And then again, I also kind of share with folks, you know, I'm kind of direct. I don't know, it's a good and it's a bad thing. I don't beat around the bush on stuff. But we, you know, a lot of folks can't be supporters, and we understand that. So, you know, we ask, you know, just if you can't be a supporter, hit share, and the reactions and the likes and all that. That all, hang on a second, sorry for my hand in front of the camera. That all helps us with the Facebook algorithm and pushes us up in the Facebook algorithm. Flip back around here so you can see where we're driving. Boop. But when we ask everyone to, hey, if you just take a quick second, tap the screen, it pulls up the tools, hit share, and share with your friends, and invite. I'll look back at the analytics, and only 10 people will have shared, and we'll have, you know, 50, 60, 100 viewers, and only 10 people have shared. That doesn't, you know, put yourself in our sneakers, and we sit back and look at that and go, wow, really? Only 10 people could take a second and click share? So we have to really kind of sit back, and makes us rethink things. And we're doing things a lot differently than any other news media out there, independent news media and media. And we're, like we said before, we're kind of creating a paradigm shift. So we kind of, we're figuring stuff out. But we don't know sometimes if part of it is we're not effectively communicating our vision and helping people get the right idea and figure out the value of what we're doing, and the mission that's ahead, the bigger picture. So we need to do some better vision casting so folks really understand about our organization and what we're doing.
Okay, for next up, next it could be 8261 Law on Mendra Way. Nearest it could be 8261 Law on Mendra Way. Today, 4 Medic 7, Engine 7, Fire Map 270, Charlie 4 operations, B Bravo 3.
Attention District 3 units, information on the 44 that occurred at 300 Burkett at the Denny's restaurant. Refused to pay for her food. She was female, black, 35 to 40, 5'5", medium build, wearing a white beanie, brown jacket, brown pants, no weapons seen. Information only on 44 that occurred at 300 Burkett Drive at the Denny's. That was refused to pay for her food. Female, black, 35 to 40, 5'5", medium build, white beanie, brown jacket, brown pants. The North Carolina.
Oh, no, I'm going to flip back around. I don't think we've gone through this area during one of our live broadcasts. I'll take you guys through our historic R Street.
753.
Yeah, I've heard some of the police departments are doing that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Steve, that's why I just tried to fix that. The mount that I have, when I put the phone back up there, it's got little feet where it slide it in at, and it hits right where the microphones are at. So let me know that audio should pick back up. Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Thanks, Craig, for sharing. Appreciate that. Really, really appreciate the shares. Bob, I lost track and I'm going back. I'm not sure what the yes they do was for. If that was pertinent, go ahead and drop that in there for me.
Alpha 34, attach a plate.
See, I try to pay attention and keep up with the conversation. Anyway, ahead of us, down the street is our street. This is our street off of 16th. This has gone under redevelopment, and it's really neat what they've done. They've taken some of the old blighted buildings and redeveloped them and turned them into lofts with retail space underneath. This is Ace of Spades on our right. That's a venue for concerts. It used to be, I forgot the name of it. It used to be another nightclub, Shady Lady. That's a kind of an eatery, a late night eatery for the goers. You can see some of the murals on the buildings, part of the Open Walls projects. But down here a little bit further is where they've really redeveloped some of the old areas, and I mean it's super cool. There's a regional transit headquarters right there on the right. This one over here on the left, it's got a Starbucks. That's, again, I'm not a big Starbucks fan like some of you, but it's a really neat Starbucks. But then this building over here on the left is the artist lofts, and there's kind of some upper high end, like a barber shop and a bottle bar, bottle get loose lounge, but the elevator that goes up to the lofts here, each one of the what do you call it, the I guess you'd say foyers for the elevators, they've allowed like a artist to do an installation or do their artwork, and it's absolutely incredible. I saw a video on it. I'll have to look that up sometime when we come through here again and drop that video in here. If someone in here from Sacramento knows where that's at, feel free to drop that YouTube link in here. Warehouse Artist Lofts, Sacramento. So that's that right there. So just some really unique stuff. And then another one that's under redevelopment right now, right here at R and 11th. Then there's shops and fine art. There's a really neat market I haven't even had a chance to get into yet, down here on the right.
3801 Duckhorn driving. I'll get you a play here in a second.
Alpha 42 to start. London, Florida copies for 242 in progress. 4125 23rd Street. Flight Adam. Trying to your fusion to leave is very 922. Subject is out.
And that was the market on the right.
Including complainant. I currently have them on the ground because he keeps getting up and swinging at them. 242 in progress.
Yeah, Todd, I like Dutch Brothers. I got introduced to Dutch Brothers just recently, and I kind of like their stuff. Uncle Vito's Pizza. I'll have to check into that. Oh, wait a minute. That was back there by, across from Ace of Spades. We did hit that. That is pretty good pizza. I'll tell you, if you're here locally in Sacramento, one of my favorite coffee spots is Old Soul Coffee, and they have a vanilla Americano. Their espresso they put in is called the Sauce, and it is a very, very smooth espresso that they use for their Americano, and it is just delicious. I had, believe it or not, I'm kind of like Todd with Starbucks coffee, but I had a manager, really a young guy. I hope he went on to do better things than Starbucks, because he's very sharp. But the Starbucks that later became, they shut it down, that became Old Soul in Oak Park. Scotty, I haven't seen him in ages. I'm gonna have to try to track him down. A very sharp young man. For the manager, he would do tastings, and like once a month, he would pair a coffee with a food. And what really woke me up to how distinct coffees are, they're like, you know, most folks don't realize coffees are diverse as wines, and they used to be paired with dinners. So he brought a Sumatra coffee, which has a lemony base to it, and a lemon salmon. And he had us take a sip of the Sumatra coffee, and then, you know, cleanse the palate with the water. And then he has to take a bite of the lemon salmon. And so it's like, okay, that's the Sumatra. All right, that's the salmon. Okay, yada yada, big deal. And then he has to take a small bite of the lemon salmon with a sip of the Sumatra coffee. Oh my goodness. It, like, your taste buds just went wacko. And your mouth just gets, you know, your taste buds literally like squirt. And it's, yeah, it's Farfenugend for the mouth. And I realized then how important pairing the right coffee with the food is. And wow, that was an experience. So that was for free, by the way, no charge for that information. All right, y'all. We'll stop here by the European Wax Center. Anybody need a Brazilian? Anyway, I digress. Got you there, Bob. Whoa. Did I just drop us off? Nope. Oh, drop mine off. Ah, there we go. My other device is going wacko here on me. Please stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Hey Jay, we actually have tapped into some current stats, and interesting there. We always tell folks, you know, folks, they come on, they see our page, and they start following us. They go, oh man, Sacramento's getting really bad. And we always, you know, over the years have said, no, you're just seeing it through our lens now, because you literally see over 90% more of the crimes, 90% more of the stories through us than you do through mainstream media. They used to only buy about 10% of the news that we aggregated. So it meant 90% of good, still good, viable news that mainstream didn't care about was still sitting on our hard drives, and no way for us to get it out until social media and the web came around. Anyway, fast forwarding, now people discover us, and they find our page on our website, and they go, oh my goodness, Sacramento's getting really bad. Well, and actually to us, things were slowing down. We used to, I mean, even on a night like tonight, we would average about 3 pursuits. Almost a shooting every night, a large fire in a unoccupied house. Especially this time of year, we would have a couple of those a night. A large Victorian fire downtown. All that stuff has slowed down. But again, people come on our page and they see this influx of coverage that they don't see on mainstream media. Anyway, we were able to pull some stats, and crime is actually up about 12% overall in Sacramento. However, homicides are down. That's an interesting stat. I looked that up about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and actually on our new website that's being redeveloped right now, revamped, we're going to start making stats available, and there's actually kind of some heat maps and things that we can pull together, and we're going to start working on some of those things as part of our effort to keep communities informed so you can be aware and safe. And we think that information is important for you to have. So I hope that kind of answers that for you, Jay. Craig likes Arabic coffee. Turkish coffee is probably my favorite. I heard that's kind of like a really kind of bitter coffee. And then one of the interesting ones, I don't know if I want to try or not. If you've heard of it, it's called Kopi Luwak coffee, and it's coffee beans that, what critter is it? Anyways, it's been digested and pooped out by a specific animal, and those beans are collected, and it does something to the bean. The stomach acids do something to the bean, and it's like really, really expensive coffee. Kopi Luwak. Wow, we got on a even though I haven't had, well, I have a little bit of coffee here, but even though we didn't have a bunch of coffee, this conversation kind of woke everybody up. All right, y'all, it has gotten really super slow, and we're gonna go ahead and shut down. It's almost near quitting time anyways for us, and we're gonna go ahead and shut things off. Really appreciate all of you. We had some interesting individuals on tonight. We had to ban one individual. One individual thought he got banned, but he wasn't banned. It was actually his profile got kind of put in Facebook jail for spam or something like that. So he thought we banned him, but we didn't. And I told him if we had banned him, he wouldn't even be able to message us on our back end. So hopefully he's able to take care of that with Facebook. But Captain Smash, we put the smash on him, and he's not welcome on our page anymore. And some of you are saying hallelujah. But anyways, again, appreciate y'all. Once again, there's that sponsorship link there. If you would consider, again, push us out in front of folks who may want to sponsor us, have a business, would like to get their name out there, and like a little quid pro quo by sponsoring us and getting their name out there, that would be great. And again, there's the link. That's some more information about us and public safety news. And I think that's really about it for the links for tonight. So again, remember, if you don't have a supporter badge,
3128 Susan Charlie Street. Firing some assault, back to the en route, requesting stage 3128 Susan Charlie Street. 91 engine 4, fire up 150 Alpha 1 operations, deep
on 3128 C as in Charlie Street. This is what happened last night. Went to go shut off, and little things kept happening. Alhambra NC. So east of Alhambra off of C Street. Okay, we'll go check that out. If y'all want to hang in for a little bit longer, we'll go check this out. Haven't heard it come over the police radio yet, but fire just got dispatched for a violent crime assault. in the 3100 block of C Street. It'll be actually East Sacramento. And we'll go down here and another yellow light. We'll go down here and jump up on the freeway and whip around on Business 80 that borders the east side of downtown Sacramento. Overtime part 2. Right, Steve?
112 continuing northbound 5 north of Seamus. The gray 4-door. One part report is the number 1, another said it's in the slow lane, and is an X-ray out of the vehicle shoulder.
So if you're not from Sacramento, we can have freeways that border downtown Sacramento, or the main part of Sacramento. Business 80 or State Route 51, the Business 80 loop, borders the east side of downtown. Highway 50 here that we're jumping up on borders the south end of downtown, and Interstate 5 borders the west end of downtown. So, and it all kind of loops. So depending if you want to be on the high numbers or the low numbers, because downtown Sacramento is all alphabet and numbers, is where you want to loop around to. So right now we want to go to the high numbers on the east end of downtown. So we're jetting down 50 and connecting to Business 80. And that'll take us to the high numbers. So we have a lot of folks say, I don't like driving around downtown. Lost. I say, how do you get lost? It's letters and numbers. So if you're 1901 P Street, guess where you want to be? P Street and 19th. Like when the road's wet and you can't see the lanes. You guys can see it better on the camera than I can see out the window because of the backlighting. And the fog isn't as low as it was last night. So I mean, remember the top of the Sutter Health building was covered up with fog last night. It's moving in a little bit. To the 3100 block of C Street, so we're jumping off on H, which is the lowest letter exit off of Biz 80. And the 30th Street is the last numbered street for downtown. Then numbered streets above that are in East Sacramento on the other side of Alhambra. And we're at 30th right now, and we're gonna go up to Alhambra and go left up to C Street.
One from Alpha 27. That's 110-1. Absolutely.
Todd Parker, good night. Thanks for joining us.
Battalion 3, Engine 4-3 vehicle accident, northbound Interstate 5 on the off-ramp at Airport Boulevard. Northbound Interstate 5 on the off-ramp of Airport Boulevard. Battalion 3, Engine 4-3, fireman 67
Man,
Bravo
there's
1.
been a lot of accidents off of Interstate 5 and Airport Boulevard. That's another bad spot.
Can you attach that to all units on 42nd Street, please?
Michael Jones. We're heading to the violent crime assault off of C and 31st. We got Democracy Alley. That means C Street is next, and we don't want to pop up there yet. So we're gonna hang right here and wait for the officers to pop in the area. We don't know anything about this at all.
10 Alpha 6, if you can attach that next plane also to that all units.
Copy. .1183 northbound 5 airport off.
Oh, got you, Todd.
79 Maverick and code 4.
I just heard an officer say fire can code 4, so I don't know if that's this call or not. And code 4 meaning they can cancel. They might be on scene already, so we'll do a stealthy slide by and take a look down the street. Okay, everybody quiet. We're gonna tiptoe past the street. Shh. Oh, yep, officers are on scene. It's really dark. I see they got someone in the flashlight down there. Doesn't look like a big deal. So they canceled fire, so no one's injured. That's a good thing. And as you can see, this is the end, that sign says. This area is really neat. It's like one of the really old parts of Sacramento. Some really neat homes through here.
Go ahead.
David 300-2416.
They went through a couple of years ago and City Council voted to give all the alleys names, because they used to say, like, if it was the alley between B and C, they would say the B alley or the BC alley. And it was always kind of confusing, so now all the alleys have names. Like back there was the Blues Alley. The alley after D is Democracy. The one after L is Liesel. got some funny names that they pulled for some of them. So, as I thought it was going to be. Nothing to see here. Keep it moving, please. And McKinley Park in front of us. Interestingly, there's a pond over here on the left of this park. And in the last year and a half, Michael Jones, you're on here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's about the last year and a half. Been on 2 dead bodies in that pond. And usually just a drunk person stumbling in it. We are right next to McKinley Park off of McKinley and Alhambra in East Sacramento. So just east of downtown Sacramento or Midtown. So we're gonna go straight. Yes, that was a yawn. So now we're on 29th, bordering the east end of downtown, and Business 80 or State Route 51 is next to us on the left. That 29th Street borders it going south, and 30th Street borders it going north. Not a problem, Sherry. All right, y'all. So my batteries are starting to run low on some of my devices. That means we've gone overtime. Like Steve said, overtime part 2. Okay, so the accident off of Airport and I-5 is a non-injury accident. We're going to go ahead and shut down. Again, y'all, thanks for joining us. And remember all those links. If you haven't checked out our About, make sure you go to psnews.us and check out our About. And just check out our website in general. We've got a really awesome website. And I say that not braggadociously, but our web designer, he is just amazing. And we're really blessed to have him on our team. Make sure you go check out that site, especially on your mobile device. It's been designed for mobile, and it's desktop friendly. Looks great on both, but super fast if you have decent internet connection. Every single page loads really fast, so you really enjoy it. So make sure you visit that, and visit that com1group.org to find out more about our whole nonprofit, and then the virtual ride-along sponsorships. Please don't forget those, and to push those out. And while you're on our Facebook page, please like and share our posts and our stories. Again, all the clicking and sharing that you can do. Number one, it gives you a top fan badge, and Facebook gives you, we have no control over that, but your activity level on our page gives you a top fan badge. And you want that supporter badge as well, because again, these virtual ride-alongs are going to go behind our supporter paywall. And if you don't have a supporter badge, you won't be able to view our You won't be able to view our virtual ride-alongs any longer unless they are sponsored. If they're sponsored, you'll be able to see them. So, along with some other content that's supporter-only viewable. So again, thanks for joining us, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the morning. Get some sleep before you have to go to work, and take care. This is Maverick, Public Safety News.